What up guys, this is Monkey Figure Reviews and today we are back for another Figures News Update video. We will be discussing two upcoming Portrait of Pirates figures by megahouse, and previously we have talked about them, but now we have the full colored prototype and both of them are already out for pre-order. The first figure, here is the P.O.P Warriors Alliance Kozuki Oden. His height is 27.5 cm, release date is September 2021 this year, and his price is 17,300 yen. So, very pricey. I think quite pricey in my opinion. And I just want to be clear and upfront, for me personally, I had already pre-ordered him. And mainly because after looking at all the Oden figures so far, like your Ichiban Kuji Oden, your King of Artists, I think that haven't came out yet, Grand Line Man, Figure Art Zero. I feel that this Oden, it captures his likeness the best. And not just that, it's also consistent with the muscular build, you know, his buff body. I feel that is very well done. And I mentioned in my previous video that I did wish that they could have made a more dynamic, more interesting pose. But it looks like we just kind of get a very standard pose of Oden. I'm not sure if this is right before he attacked the big pig god or something, but it seems like it. And so for me, I've gotten him and I actually can't wait for him to arrive, because myself, I do like to collect the legends and I have most of the P.O.P legend figures, so I believe Oden will just fit right in. So this image you see in front of you, this is the promo image, so it's kind of, you know, like an artwork. Usually they do that for the P.O.P figures. He looks great here, with his iconic smile and expression. Now this is other images, official promo images, so you can see what you are going to get. And I think you can tell right at this front that for the outfit, for the kimono, or just generally the finishing across the figure, they are once again going for that very reflective paint, shiny finishing. Some of you don't like it at all from what I've seen online, and for me I think it's fine as long as they don't overdo it. But actually he's quite shiny. We have some real life images later for you guys to see, and here as well you can tell creases, the paints. It looks like there's a bit of shading here, certain areas in the orange kimono, the hair as well. This part is lighter, and you can tell, I think the rest you could just see for yourself mostly. You can also see some texture, natural texturing finishing on his sandals. You can see his leg hair, the swords. This is another angle, and the hair just flowing backwards. So generally, I do hope that he doesn't lean towards this side, because I'm not sure how heavy this ribbon thing around his back is going to be like. But every time I look at this figure, he always looks like he's going to fall to his right. So I hope that is not the case, and I hope that this support is good enough for him. This is the back view, and you can tell the sword sheaths are all very beautifully painted from what I can tell here, and the thread lines on this ribbon, I think more color variation along the hair, the muscles, muscle definition, veins popping out, swords look great as well. And I do find it funny because I think that this roof part, it looks like it's not painted. I know that it's supposed to be grey, so it's like a generic tile roof, but the color here just looks like the prototype, so it seems like they never painted. Kind of wish that it's kind of in a different color so it looks more complete. Right, so we have more images, more close-ups. This is the face, and I really dig the face. I feel that this is really the best one out of all the Oden figures so far. It captures his, you know, he has this like cheeky willfulness and craziness, and you know, that confidence also. I think it's so well captured. The teeth, the mouth, the eyes, eyebrows, those are really well done. Even the hair, yep, like this part I said is lighter in shade and in color. It's a bit greenish, I think. And you can see closely all the muscles around the neck, around the chest. Much better here. I'm not sure if this is a seam line. I'm noticing it for the first time here, but I do hope that it will not be too obvious. This is a side profile of him. Still looks great. Fantastic. There's a seam line here around the neck, but I think they tried to hide it well. Shading around the neck muscles. The kimono. The kimono is really, really reflective. I think you can tell from here. Top of his hair. Right, so the lines are just going into the middle. I think that they could make it more pronounced, the lines for the hair. I think that will look even more awesome. And these are the sword sheaths. Very beautiful. I think the colors, there's actually a bit of shading for the purple sword, which is Emma, I believe. You can actually tell. So a little bit of variation makes it look more realistic. And of course the golden shiny parts, those are done well too. So these are the real life photos. I'm not sure where they are from. I got them off the net, and looks like it's on display somewhere and someone took the shots. So you guys can just have a quick look here in case you have not seen them. I think like from what I've seen in these photos, he actually looks pretty big, not just in height, but you know, the width, the size all around because of his position, and the body himself, his figure himself, he actually looks quite big of a character. And I think here you can really tell how shiny he is. It's quite obvious under the lights. Other photos, he looks like a monster next to Crocodile, but of course I think it's a bit more forward. There you go. Alright, so for myself, like I said, I've gotten him, and I can't wait to see him line up next to my other figures. But I'm just thinking now that I'm not even sure if I have the space to display him properly. Not much space left in my shelf, so we'll have to wait and see. Now, let's move on to the second figure. It is the P.O.P. Sailing Again Maximum Gear 4th Boundman version 2 Monkey D. Luffy. His release date is November 2021 this year, and his price is 22,000 yen. So not as expensive as I thought it would be, because I thought, you know, after Kaido they're just gonna milk us dry, but I thought this is actually still pretty okay. But likely shipping is going to be expensive just because of how wide this figure is. And from where I am, Singapore, I'm seeing pre-order prices from 330 to about 380, which is actually quite expensive. So I'm not sure if it's because that's after factoring shipping or not. So, you know, had to wait and see. I have not made my decision yet, but likely I will get it. Very, very likely, because I missed out on the first Boundman. So I don't want to miss out again. Alright, so this is one of those promo images. This is another one, a close-up. So you can see this is in Dressrosa, and it's in the birdcage by Doflamingo. And now we're going to the official merchandise images. And I gotta say, when I first saw the prototype, you guys will have heard the same thing if you watched my previous video. I actually wasn't that impressed. But now, seeing it full colored, you know, in all his glory, I am actually quite excited for this guy, because the paint job on the figure is absolutely amazing. And not just that, looking at his skin, you know, like his face, his body, those very minute details like wrinkles, those are very well expressed. So it totally blew me away when I first saw the colored prototype image. And let's get down to the details. So from this image, you can tell they are going a little bit different with the coloring. I'm pretty sure the first Boundman figure, the red tint, is not as obvious as this one. But over here, you can just really tell the spectrum of colors. They are going from, you know, some parts they are totally maroon, and some parts are like dark red, and then other parts totally black. So they're really trying to add more color contrast on the haki areas. Same thing for the other arm. And just from this image too, if you look at the face, that's what I'm talking about. Like all these very minute wrinkles and folds on his face, it's so pronounced. It's very, very detailed, and I really appreciate that. Not just that, but also some of his chest muscles and the scars. I think those are really well done. And of course, all these effects, I'm not sure what are they supposed to be, steam or just like air breaking apart from his punch. You can tell different color shading across. Some parts are more yellow and just kind of fades to white, and some has a bit of reflection from the haki. Let's look at other photos so we can see better. This is another angle. He really looks menacing. Like, you can tell how pissed Luffy is, and I think that this expression is definitely it gives Luffy more character. So I really dig that. The first Boundman, he's just kind of like standing there. He still looks fierce, but he looks more like he's posing. But here you can really tell he is in a very serious battle pose. So another part that I like is the hair. I think it's also quite obvious in the first photo. The strands looks to be very well defined and very well done. They are not just clumped together, so you can actually see the separate pieces. And once again, man, the face, I feel that it is so good. You can't really tell in the prototype, but once they added in the colors, it becomes so obvious. And of course, you have his hats, the details on the straw hats, and of course the string as well. And some of the details on his pants, his clothes. This is the Dressrosa vest, and you can also see the shading on it. Some parts are darker, other parts are a little bit lighter. And also at the bottom, like just looking at this main support, right? I know it's the effects, but it's also the main support for the figure. First of all, the paint and shading, it's also very well done. The colors look very similar to the Snake Man figure, but also I like how natural the steam looks, the steam effect. So it's a job well done for me. This is another angle, and you can really tell how white or how stretched Luffy is. He looks incredible. And right at the bottom here, those muscles, man, really, really cool, crazy. Looks great. And yeah, and even the colors on the arm on this angle, they look even better, look even brighter. Instead, it looks better than like a generic black color. So I dig this. I think it's good. And Luffy's mouth is just so white because he's screaming or something. His teeth looks great. This is another angle. Yeah, my only concern right now is also if I were to get him, how do I display all these figures, man? Their pose are just so, space consuming. This is the back, so you have this streak of steam also moving towards the back, shows a bit of movement. And I think it's quite clear also, you can tell the opacity of the material here and the material at the bottom is quite different. Here it's more opaque, but the bottom one is more translucent. And also, I really, really hope that this works well as a support and you would not start leaning, in any direction after a few years. That will be the worst thing, because it looks like the main figure is gonna be quite heavy. So I really hope they have done the design well, and we won't be getting any of these issues because the figures are really expensive. Alright, so going to the close-ups, and like I said, here I think you just get a better view of Luffy's face and the hair. Really loving the details they added onto the face and just how pissed Luffy looks. Even some of the texturing on the body, you can tell. You can see better here with the closer look and the paints on the haki arms, the details on the straw hat. This is the arm, so you can see the muscles, the definition. This is his body, and here we have a better look on his pants. Very good texturing on the pants as well. Makes it look more realistic. Looks a bit rough on certain areas. Back to his face on a different angle. Looks good here as well. I was actually worried previously that he is going to be very angle specific when you display him. So he will only look good in certain angles, but after looking at all these images, I think that he looks fine. He looks good no matter which angle you look at him from. And here we have some real life photos of the Gear 4 Luffy. So you guys can just take a quick look. I will just quickly run through them. So very likely I will be getting him, but I'm definitely hoping to get him at a good price, because figures nowadays are just so expensive. And you try to get the best deal whenever you can. Alright, so yeah, I think more or less what we have seen before, and that's all we have for the photos. So that's pretty much all I want to say for these two figures. Just to recap myself, I've already pre-ordered Kozuki Oden, and I'm still on the hunt for a good price for this Gear 4 Boundman. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below of these two figures now that we have the colored prototypes. I apologize once again for reporting on this so late, because I've been really busy in April. So most of you probably already placed a pre-order, or maybe already decided on these figures. So just let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also share this video with your friends. If you're new here and you like what I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell notification button so you don't miss out on new videos like this. Thank you guys for spending so much time with me. I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.